Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the DCUO SourceCast. I am, of course, Trex, and alongside me via the interwebs, we have Super Patriot.
What's up, everybody?
And we also have Vagrant.
What's up, guys?
So, as you now see the screen, Vagrant, aren't you happy? Are you happy now?
Is my name's there?
'Cause your name's there. Yeah. You're even in the little tile card at the corner now. I made you a little slot for you as well.
Well, dang.
Did that all day today. Actually, no, I did it some yesterday and finished up on stuff today. So, so I was like, I need to.
He's had that done for 4 weeks.
No, I haven't. No, I should have gotten it done before. I'm so apologizing, but it's now here. It's done. I was really happy. This is what I needed your emblems for. Even though every time I look at Super Patriots, it's just it's eye catching just because it's like that POW with TDH on there. But I keep calling you Super Patriot.
My book.
Yeah.
Well, you asked me for my channel's logo, so I mean that's a work in progress. You know, I was doing there. I'm trying to change up my logos and everything.
Okay, so when you change up your logo,
TDH for that's the daddy's house. TDH.
Very true. Very true.
The logo.
So yeah.
Logo.
So it's not the DCUO SourceCast logo up there was of course done by our good buddy Weapon Mex. I couldn't really reproduce the font for it, and I'm like, you know what? He did such a good job on it, and I absolutely love the font. I love the background for it. I'm just gonna keep it. Just keep it like it is. Just shorten it. Boom. Make it more eye-popping, and now we have our names on there. So it's very awesome. We have our logos, even though I have to say Vagrant actually has Vagrant Gaming instead of just some weird letter or letters. So good job with the name branding.
Yeah, I did a good job.
So tonight we're going to be talking a little bit about Game Update 46 that's on the test server right now. Some fixes that are coming up on Game Update 45 that's on the live servers. And then we have... Basically, I'm going to be playing on the test server while we have a nice good discussion about PvP from Vagrant. Hope he's ready. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And
then,
you know.
And then at the end of the show, which by that time maybe Meps have already cut the hosting from the main channel because I don't think he would want this posted, we are going to have... it was inspired by the H1Z1 devs, another game being developed by Daybreak Games. And it was inspired by H1Z1 that they had their customer service guys come out and read off some mail, the emails from hackers and others about, customer service and blah, blah, blah. So for the DCUO, even though I don't get hate mail because I'm loved by everyone and I love you all for it.
Please. All right, next week homework is I'm going to go on Trex's channel and I'm going to go look at some of his videos and find some of the hate comments on his. And I will read those out.
I have to say, good luck.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So we're going to be reading off some of Super Patriot's hate mail at the end of the episode. So it's going to be really fun. I hope, at least. All right, so first thing I want to talk about is Spittle was, Master Spittle, Master Yins, dropping F-bombs on Friday Night Legends, putting the F in FNL. Holy crap!
Clearly Mets' fault, though. Clearly Mets' fault.
I will have to say it was Mets' fault.
So if the F was the F word, what's the N and the L?
F... That's chat. What is the L and what is the N and L stand for?
You don't want to ask chat.
There's 120 people watching. We have no choice but to ask chat. I have no choice.
There could be way too many bad answers for it.
It's true. It's gonna be so true. Actually, I gotta remember because I'm also on. I gotta look over here on the DCUO channel as well because we have viewers there. Hi, viewers. Hello. So yeah, figure out what the N and L stand for in effing in L. What? I'm not gonna say the word. I'm not gonna say the word. That's so bad. So Spindle was nice enough to tweet out a picture, a little teaser with the in-house playtesting for Halls of Power Part 2. And what does it look like? Well, it looks a little bit like they're outdoors. There's nice and sunshine. There's some rocks there. Oh my god, are we actually on New Genesis? Oh, are we here? Are we there? And who's that beside? I'm guessing it has to be Spindle's character with Brick, because for God's sakes it's Brick, so it has to be Spindle. Who's that beside him? Oh, the new god. It's a new god! Yes! Light Ray, even though I really don't like Light Ray that much, but it's still a new god. So we're going to be seeing we already seen Big Barda, Mr. Miracle. I'm going to go with the good guys because, they're good guys. I really don't care about the Agents of Apocalypse. Blah. Looking at you, Calabac. Nature versus nurture, folks. If you want that's a prime example. Nature versus nurture. Because Calabac is one ugly son of a... Here we go. So we already seen Mr. Miracle. We've seen Big Barda. And now we have Light Ray. Who else are we going to be seeing in Halls of Power Part 2? Who are you guys expecting to see?
If it was
Vandal
my
Savage.
He's not a new god.
He's not a god, but he's in cahoots with Apocalypse in a lot of comic books.
There's a possibility of that, I suppose.
That's very true.
My guess is though, I mean, we're starting to see some of the new gods. We're going to start seeing some of the, Darkseid's minions, Apocalypse. So I would not be surprised if we saw a couple of Fury or two, Granny Goodness, obviously. I would not be surprised if we saw them on the villain side there.
Is anyone else going to freak out if they see Granny Goodness? Is anyone else going to freak? I'll freak out.
I won't.
Do you know Granny Goodness?
I think it'd be fun. I'm not. This type of content I'm not familiar with. I'm not familiar with the Apocalypse and New Gods comic books.
That's okay, because this is Jack Kirby's best work, in my opinion, that he's ever done was the New Gods content. And that's why I'm excited for it, because I love New Gods, and I would love to see it in the movie. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, even though Warner Brothers doesn't watch this. Your edgy formula. Gross. So, this is what we're looking forward to for Halls of Power Part 2. It's in-house playtesting at their studio, but Jens was nice enough to post this picture. You can find it on his Twitter, and also talk a little bit more about it on his Twitter. Take a look at it. So, yay. All right.
Tier 7.
Tier 7 indeed. Tier 7. So with Friday Night Legends tonight, we were on the we're on EU PC, right? Or was it PlayStation?
Yes.
It was PC? I know it was the Revolution. I think they're PC.
I thought it was PlayStation.
Might have been PlayStation because they were talking about relogging, so PlayStation takes a while. So we had the Revolution on, and they got all the way up to, what was it, 114? Or I'm sorry, that was their CR. How far?
110.
110.
10. Yep, 110.
Jeez, that.
10. Yeah.
Well, congratulations to Revolution. Just all around it. I think the player. I think the chat actually chose the player of the match was Apocalypse, I believe.
I did see that. He was pretty pro on the pickups in there.
That he was.
Pickup. So definitely gotta give props to the guy that and that's one of those those rare one of those how do I want to put this that's one of those things that is done in a raid that doesn't get the credit that it's deserved.
Pickups?
Pickups. I mean, there is a statuary for them in league halls, which I made sure gets its full credit, and everybody who's does that stuff, gets credit for it, in our league hall. But it's not something you see normally on I'd like to see something like that added onto the scoreboard. So those people who take the time to stop pew-pewing or and help out with the pickups. To get a little bit more recognition from the raid.
It's very true. Very true. Always remember to pick up your people. Always pick them up. So, also with Friday Night Legends, there was a little bit of heartache, a little heartbreak, and it was due to the restructuring of Daybreak Games coming from SOE. They had to put the new UI on hold. It's okay, Vagrant. It's okay. We are all upset.
Oh, you don't even know the half of it.
If you want to cry it out, man, this is a safe place. This is a safe zone. We're here for you.
It is very heartbreaking, though. Like, I can't even lie.
It is. It really is. But it's not canceled, to say the least. It's just on hold. It's just on hold.
Yeah, it's clear from seeing the progress videos we've seen on it that a lot of work's already been put into that UI. So I think it would be foolish for them to cancel that UI, and obviously putting it on hold is just temporary because they need to reallocate assets and in order to keep up with their current release schedule and everything. And I think it's gonna be okay. I think we're gonna be all right. Waiting a little bit longer for the UI. I've waited 3 years for a No One Science Cells PvP map, so pretty sure we can wait another an extra few months or so for UI.
Yeah. So hopefully they get some resources their way to get back into the swing of things to get the UI back going. So good luck to the team, and for everyone out there, have faith. The new UI will come back, and once it does come back, we will be notified. Anyone else feel like this is like an early April Fool's joke? I don't know how to feel about this.
Gonna cry.
It's a safe zone. If you have to cry, it's a safe zone.
Yeah, I could tell by Big's reaction to the news.
Waiting for that UI since they announced it when the PlayStation 4 was coming out. I was just like, God, we need this so bad.
Yeah, we do. We really do. And I remember the year one UI, even though of course it's still the same, but I had to watch one of my old videos to get a little clarification, and the video, the video showed. You guys remember the journal?
Mm-hmm.
Scrolling through the journal. Oh man, I look at the journal now and I'm like, I hug it. I hug it every time I see it.
The old freaking UI was. Oh my god, it was so bad. So bad. You guys, had your little mouse scrollers and everything on PC. We had to, like, freaking, continuously push it down on the D-pad.
Hey, I use a controller too. I feel your pain, brother. Even though once it got frustrating, I definitely went to my mouse.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was bad, and it's like I've looked at old videos too, and where I've seen the the league management UI, and I'm like, oh my god, compared to what we have now, it was just so bad.
It was. So, and that's really all the information that came out from FNL. So, if you guys did miss tonight's FNL, be sure to head over to youtube.com/DC Universe Online Game, and they will have the replay up probably either tonight or tomorrow morning. Probably tonight because Meps doesn't sleep, and he also apparently does not watch Harry Potter, which I don't judge. I don't judge him for it.
And apparently, he doesn't like a good Texas barbecue.
Did he say no?
We all know he's vegan. That's not anything new.
We can all go to a sushi bar.
I don't like sushi.
We can get
How do you not like sushi?
I just don't like. I had it one time.
We can get veggie burgers. We could have gotten veggie burgers and all that. It's like.
At the same time, veggie burger. I feel that's a lie. Just like, turkey bacon. I mean.
Yeah, of course it's a lie. Of course it's a lie. I mean, it's not really a burger.
No, it's not.
But at the same time, though, I mean, it's something they came up with to appease the vegans out there, vegetarians and stuff. But I mean, at the same time, I'm like, seriously, who doesn't like just being at a barbecue and having fun? Never mind the food. I mean, obviously the food's a big part of it for everybody who's a human being and eats meat.
It's very true. Very true.
But
so be sure to watch FNL every Friday night from 4 p.m. to 5. Nope, I did that wrong. Yeah, dude. No, it's 4 or 5. Crap. I'm waiting for the tag to go through on the screen so I can look at the time. Because I forget. Because I'm on Eastern time. I'm not on Pacific, and it's that whole time zone thing is just a myth. I just
subtract 3, dude.
Well, stop making me do math. God.
Oh God.
I am not at work, sir.
I mean to make you do.
There you go. 4 to 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's going to be 4 to 5. It's going to be 7 to 8 on the East Coast, which is the true coast. The only coast. Space Ghost.
Space Ghost?
Coast to coast.
Jinx.
So, also a big happy birthday to Willpower. I didn't forget. I saw it. Ha ha ha. So, happy birthday to you, buddy. 34. Ooh. Well, you're 4 years older than me. It doesn't matter. I'm in my 30s now. I have accepted this.
You're 30?
Yeah, I hit 30 back in January 4th.
Holy crap.
It's not a big number, Vagrant.
Man.
God. It's only...
Shit. Why do I have the feeling that Vagrant found out how old I am? He'd fall out of his chair.
No, I know how old you are.
Hey, stalker.
You're like
right?
Like 50 something.
Wow.
Oh, fuck you.
Hey, calm with the F-bombs.
Hey, if Spittle can do it, I can do it.
Oh, see, Seagans, this is what you do. This is what you do. All right. So, Game Update 45. Game Update 45, it came out. There have been apparently some issues, to say the least. Actually, there's been some pretty big issues. Odyssey released a video that had double Hydra.
Holy crap!
It was. I have to say, it was pretty awesome to watch. We've also had we also had reports of double Ares. A double Ares would pop up.
Yeah.
And we've also had an instance, I think it was in Labyrinth of Lost Souls, where I think one of the Minotaurs went down. They were doing the loot, looking through it, and all of a sudden the Minotaur came back up, and they had to fight it again, but they had they were loot locked, so they didn't get anything extra to it. They had to fight him again. So let me just state this in the obvious. No game is perfect. When it comes to MMOs, I give MMOs more of a grace that they're not perfect, unlike console games. I'm looking at you, Assassin's Creed Unity. Ubisoft,
yeah, really.
You should have done better. That was horrible. You don't get an excuse. You just don't. MMOs, on the other hand, they get an excuse because they are constantly being updated almost every week, every day, whatever. It takes time, and when you put in one code, it can mess up other code. And so, as we saw, double Hydra, double Ares, double trouble. Double trouble.
Well, they say, the Hydras and all, you cut off one head, 2 more grow in its place. So,
Hell Hydra.
That's why.
Yeah, exactly.
Why you got the double Hydras.
So what you're saying is the double Hydras was intended because it's following the mythos.
Yes.
Okay, so the double Hydras is not a bug to Super Patriot, and which because it's in mythos, I will concur. I will just concur. So, I'm looking at the server hotfix that just came out for today. Apparently, with the Celestial with Corrupted Divine Light and Cleansed Plague, will now refresh the advanced mechanic earlier when the animation is clipped early and it is used as a second multi-input combo. And then most importantly over here with Throne of the Dead, Normal and Elite, we have made an additional change to make Hades' Damned ability work closer to as intended, teleporting just 4 players at once. We are still investigating this issue. So what that means is most players are apparently getting 5. Like 2 controllers will go with the teleportation banish.
Yeah, or both healers. You'd be really screwed.
At that point, you just need to have like, do we have a rage? We have a rage? Thank God. All right, we're good. We have a rage. He'll survive this. Just both controllers went too. Okay, he is effed, people. He is just gone. So bugs happen. Now is DCUO perfect? Hell no. There's no such thing as a perfect game because every perfect game has something perfectly wrong with it. And I'm basically throwing this towards a certain YouTuber who I had to get that video linked to me by Raw. Raw, don't link me that video ever again. I don't want to be part of the drama. But apparently I've been sucked into the drama because you linked me the freaking video and I had no choice but to watch it. And oh my God, I just wanted to stab my eyes out.
Which video is this?
You know the video, Supes.
Do I?
Yeah, Raw linked it to me today.
I don't know. You need to refresh my memory, sir.
Oh, really? Hold on. I'll type it to you because I don't want to actually give the guy any notice. You'll definitely know who it is as soon as you see it. But yeah, you know that whole for your review thing. Apparently, he's partnered with Machinima. Who knew, right?
Oh, that GOH guy.
Damn it! I didn't want to say his name.
I ain't scared of name dropping people at all tonight.
Yeah, I know you're not. So,
I don't care.
Okay,
there's a dude partnered with Machinima.
I don't give an F and L about dropping people's names tonight.
That's very true. Thanks, Jens, once again. Yeah, apparently he's partnered with Machinima. I don't know. His views don't really look important to me. He has 4K subscribers. I have more than that, and I still am not with a big partner like that. But anyways, no game is perfect, and I'm going to be defending my friend Zero Patron's stance that there is DCUO at this point. It's fun, it's playable, and it's fun. Do bugs happen? Yes. Is DCUO perfect? No. But I don't want anything perfect because that would just be weird in this imperfect world that we live in. Hashtag words.
Game. Game.
Anything made in the 90s? I don't know.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
I mean, the better the technology, the worse the game is going to come off. That's all I can really say. So DCO has its problems, but they have a dedicated team that are trying to fix the problems. And even better, we have dedicated testers and dedicated people who report this crap nonstop. Brittany. I'll name drop because I love her. So a lot of, and Game Update 46 is the Brittany update. I'm just saying it out now. Just saying it now, so I can get this out of the way. And you'll know in a moment. But DCO has its bugs. They're working on them. Nothing's perfect. Deal with it. Don't make a video about some guy you're having a disagreement with. All right. First off, I don't fall into the drama with my videos. Thank God. I have a podcast for that, which ultimately turned into a video. So I guess I'm actually part of the problem. But I try to be a nice guy. But when you're messing with one of my buddies, I'm not gonna be happy with that, and I'm not gonna stand for it. And luckily, I have a podcast for that. So now I'm gonna move along from my soapbox and push on. So that's it with Game Update 45 stuff. Bugs are happening. Stuff is being fixed. Throne is still playable. Hey, you know what? Hades might actually be killable now too. I'm not gonna get into specifics, because I'm kind of slightly NDA'd, but you know, it's like one of those air word NDAs, which I respect my fellow testers, and I'm not going to repeat most of the stuff that we talk about. Because I don't want to get banned from that group, Ticken. Please, Ticken, do not kick me from the group. I love you.
I'm going to get this, right? I got to say something about what someone just got said, because... Alright, so first off, this guy prompted me to actually do my first vlog. I don't know if anybody caught that this week.
I don't go on YouTube.
Yeah, okay, so this guy, you know, the whole story behind this GOH guy, you know, he came onto my for your review video about being banned in the forums, right? I, stated, my opinions about that and all that, so, because he says, he's trying to say that devs don't take, don't allow negative, feedback or comments on their forums, which is not the case. It's all in how you say it. If you act like, or you are even subtly trying to troll them, or, basically, sit there and say, do your job and all that, that's considered troll also. Doesn't matter how nice you say it, if it's trolling, trolling. Right, so yeah, you're gonna get shut down, and if you keep it up, you'll get suspended, or if you a lot, you'll get banned, depending on what it is. Right, so this guy, made a 17-minute rant video, right, about it, and I'm sorry, as far as I'm concerned, if he got himself banned from the forums, it wasn't for just stating his opinion. I mean, I can sit here and I could say the Trex 2 different ways on things that he could, improve on his tanking. I could say him nicely, like saying, Trex, work on your rotations a little bit, cycling your immunities around. You may not crash as much, that way you're not getting juggled around so you can cancel your rage crash. Or I can sit here and say, Trex, you suck.
Which is true. I'm passive aggressive. That's why most things don't really affect me. It's a bad habit of mine. I got it from back in school when I was picked on because I was a fat kid. So I didn't eat my problems away. I just sucked everything in, played a lot of Grand Theft Auto, and I have rage issues.
Ha! Sorry.
I see what you did there. But I mean, like I said, it's all in how you present your opinion. That if you don't know how to present your opinion without being a dick about it, then yeah, the forums definitely are not the place for you.
And at the same time, on the forums, the devs, when they make a post or you reply to one of their posts, or even when you message them, if they don't respond to your message, that doesn't mean that they didn't read it. It just means that they didn't warrant a reply. I message them all the time. I message Mess all the time. Do I ever get a reply? Maybe once. But after that, he just starts threatening me about just, ignoring me. And at that point, I just walk away. Because I'm also a coward. Did I say I was a coward? I'm a coward. I'm weak-willed. What can I say? So.
Just admitting a whole bunch of stuff you shouldn't be admitting.
I also have an honesty problem. I am a whole therapy.
Just the reality is, I mean, I don't think Trex sucks as a rage tank. I mean, what I said before, in my nice critique way, and all that, my nice critique that I gave him, is true. I mean, if you were to have both your immunities in there instead of a mitigator, you would crash a lot less.
Wait, my what? Oh, you're talking about Vindictive?
Yeah.
That's my oh crap button.
Yeah, see, if you have both your immunities in there though, and you pop your immunity when the severe punishments at like the 6 o'clock position on the cooldown, you will not get juggled or bounced around. So you don't have to worry about crashing.
Oh, I know. Yeah. I have both my immunities on my test character. I mean, I know how it plays. I just on live apparently I just fall into more of the oh shit buttons. So I just better use a superpower when it happens, right? Am I saying that? Woo. So, so moving on, we have game update 46 on test server, and I'll be on test server in a little bit once we actually go into more of the PvP stuff. But with game update 46, new legends ticking. Shazam is on test server ticking. I'm saying ticking because she's not here. And it's really funny that Shazam's on test server now and she's out of town away from her computer. So she can't do all this. So I'm, that whole poking the bear thing? I'm like stabbing it with a good buck knife. Just, I could probably twist it a little bit too. But Shazam is on the test server right now. I didn't get to play with them last night. I saw Bert, if you remember Bert from last week's episode, he was on playing Shazam and I was with him. And, we were in Smallville, which is also the new Legends PvE after Bloodhaven. So I mean, they're stacking on testing right now for this crap, getting out there as early as possible, I guess. But when you have someone with Shazam, or when you're playing Shazam, he'll do one of his moves and he'll yell out Shazam. I almost cried on stream. It was, I'm on Guy Gardner. I'm doing my moves. All of a sudden, Shazam! I'm like, oh, what? Yes! I want to hear it all the time. Just on a loop. It was so good. All right, so like I said, the new Legends PvE event is going to be Smallville. I was with some of the guys from. I was actually with some of the guys from TSI last night on my stream. The VOD will be up on my channel probably this weekend or next week, and it took us 28 minutes and 20 seconds to do it, and only because the Doomsday part, fighting Dr. Richards. We all died. We tried to bug it a little bit. We actually did bug it, and Penroom was able to report all that bugging. Which of course needs more testing to begin with, but yeah, the Doomsday was definitely the horrible part of the journey, just horrible. But I mean, we got it done in 28 minutes and 20 seconds, and to me, 28 minutes still top. I'm good with that time. I am okay with 30-minute runs. Most people aren't. They know who they are. Everybody basically, except for me. But the nit, gritty, and goodness of Game Update 46. Rage, power, the advanced damage mechanic for Rage. Now, let me say this now. Rage already had its advanced mechanic. It was combos. We already basically had that advanced mechanic out the door. What this is, it's just really just touch-up. We got the power back mechanic. We have a new little mechanic to the Rage that we'll talk about in just a moment. But I'm just going to talk a little bit about some of the important stuff that's coming out from this. UI stuff. Character Create. A new helmet style called Combat has been added to the Character Create, as well as the style vendors in the headquarters. I never went to go to the style vendors to check to see see what it was. But yeah, there's a new head style. I think I'll try and run down there and see if I can find it, so you take a look at it. The League quick menu is now sorted alphabetically. That means, when you hit your F4 or your left D-pad button? Left? Is it left?
The League quick menu?
Yeah, when you hit your left D-pad button.
Right, what about it?
Yeah,
everybody's name's going to be alphabetical?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. And then the Brittany thing, all base items in the quick menu has been sorted alphabetically.
That's cool.
Nice.
Too.
I'm pretty sure everybody on the stream is doing a round of applause, or at least my imagination is doing so, so I'm taking a bow. So, yes, Brittany complained, and she got her way. She could just use her new GM app. That's what she could have done. But anyways, really cool thing. Developer credits have been updated to reflect staff contributions on the new DLCs. So now I want to go read the credits and just start seeing who did what. That'd be really cool to do. My personal favorite is the combat log tab. Okay, the combat tab functionality has been updated to now just show damage. All right, so it's just going to show damage. But the combat chat text is now split to damage, combat, healing, power, and supercharge. You can select the different chat filters in your chat tab settings in your settings menu. You can also select colors for them as well. So power can be blue, damage can be red, and it's split by having... Actually, I'll probably go into game to physically show you if I didn't log out. Good, didn't log out. So here in the game menu, I'm so sorry if you hear random stack. I don't know how to get rid of it. It's how I have my system set up. So in the chat settings, in your chat tab, in your chat options, you now have damage in, damage out, combat in, combat out. When you actually go into combat and get out of combat. Healing in, healing out, power in, power out, and supercharge in, supercharge out. So it broke down everything for you so you can see exactly what you want to see. So as a rage tank, I definitely want to have healing in. Because I want to see how much healing I'm getting in for myself so I can see how good my severe punishment's doing, and also to see how badly the healers are doing. You just want to make sure you can put blame on. Okay? Your power in as well is going to be helpful so you can see how much... right now, the power in is only coming from, like,
I'm sorry, Rex. Trex, you're the only rage tank that I know of, all right, that would blame their crashing on the healers.
Oh, no. Sorry, no. If I rage crash, I rage crash. There's no saving me from that. No, that's all on Trex. If I crash, I have no one to blame but me. Or lag. It's 90% lag. At least that's what I'm going with. But the power in right now is only reflecting the power in that you get from, like, the sparring targets when you're testing, and, like, from the controllers. It's not including the power in from your advanced mechanics for DPS. Because I was doing it last night and I wasn't seeing that those numbers come in unless I had a controller with me. So it's a little tweak just to work on, but I mean, you at least see how your controllers are doing. So you can actually see which controller is doing the best of power in to out power to everyone. And you can also in power out for themselves. Because for me, I want to see how much power I'm getting in from them.
I like how people are saying this tab seems pointless. It's for the people that test it a lot and then can actually tell you what each stat does, like down to like each number.
That's right.
Like they'd be able to tell you like how much one specific point of vitality does for a controller, things like that.
Yeah, I mean we're looking at better theory crafting with your powers now for the guides. You're looking. I mean, this is and even the combat log for at least on the PC side, because we can actually set it up that way. It's now updated to like the millisecond instead of just a second. So you're looking at better information coming out from the combat log to give you better information for what loadout or what weapon can give you the better damage.
Yeah, I mean, because it's like I've been doing a lot more testing with my weapon mastery DPS for PvE, and spontaneous combustion. That's the go-to power for hitting really hard with weapon mastery, and doing a lot of damage with it and everything. But I've been finding that detonate does a lot more damage on single targets than spontaneous combustion does.
Vagrant, is that you with the echo? Are you using your speakers again?
No.
Or maybe it must be Super Patriot, because I'm definitely hearing echo.
I think it's me.
It's not me. Maybe it is me. I don't know. I'll turn it down. All right.
Yeah, it shouldn't be me. Because I'm using the speakers as
Wait. Someone who has a stream open. I don't know. I'm hearing it's weird feed. It's weird lag because I'm hearing it. I don't hear myself though, so maybe it might be me. I don't know. It shouldn't be though, but because now I'm all of a sudden hearing it, and it's the first time all night. But yeah, okay. So now you see the screen. I just didn't hit a button apparently. So this information is going to be very helpful for everyone to figure out the theory crafting down the road. And at the same time, for those raid leaders out there who are running, you can see how much power one person's given, and you can test it out and see if their spec is working. Or even that person can see if their spec is working. They might have to switch out a mod or something just to get better numbers. It's with this combat log, you're looking at the numbers game. It's basically what it is. So I just want to show you that I'm on this computer where the gaming is, so as I'm reading this stuff. And the combat log will now show environment objects information. I'm not sure what that means, but and then finally, before I go into the raid stuff, big thing is the grouping. Groups can now have up to 8 players, which now eliminates the need to convert a normal group to a raid group.
Thank you.
Yay.
Thank you. Seriously, that is, I mean, it's as small as the thing as that is. It was always just so annoying. Basically, from now on, whenever you go to form a raid, whenever you go to a raid group together, you don't have to, you know how you would go, you would hit Portland and then say, there's not enough room to get the form a raid.
Just does it automatically now.
You don't have to do it anymore. You just invite 8 people in. You're good to go.
All right, so that's one thing. Now, can we remove Marks of War, please? Can we remove Marks of War from the Tier 4 bounties and shit? While we're getting rid of the shit that doesn't make sense?
No. Well, hold on. If you complain for about 15 minutes, I'm sure it'll work out. I'm sure if Brittany was in chat, she would laugh. But she's not here because she hates me. Or maybe she's at work, but I know she's not at work. So, I'm sorry. Actually, let me go back to... There it is. Okay. Nope, that's not it. I went to the wrong one. PC test. There we go. All right, so now let's talk about the rage. The rage. All the rage. I'll actually open up the game as well. So, the rage. These rage combos cause increased damage while in savage state and in damage roll. They will also put you in a savage state when hitting an enemy with them. All right? So, these abilities that will put you into the savage state are Eviscerate, Outrageous Extra Measure, Dreadful Explosion, Frenzy, and Revenge Spin. If you don't know what Dreadful Explosion is, I'm actually here. I got your back. It is the extra combo. It's the rage combo that you use that will do the actual put you into the savage state. Okay? So you actually have to do the combo. Now, there's a hotfix on the test server that was applied today that, because last night when I was testing and streaming, I wasn't able to clip. To enter the savage state, I was able to clip Dreadful Blast like any normal DPS would, but it decreased my time in savage state, which, by the way, right now, savage state, as far as we know, is, how did Cypher know exactly where the hell I was? That's like, I mean, this has to be Cypher, my Cypher, because I told him, hey, you're going to be on PC test to help me out? Sure, why not? And I haven't been online that long. How the hell did he find me? How?
He just knows.
It's creepy as sin. All right, so I'll do the visual, and when you use a rage combo, you have that red swirly stuff around your head, which for us on tank stance, that shows how long we have. That's the window before you crash. All right, that's it. But for DPS, we're only guessing because we haven't really had confirmation. But that swirly thing around your head is supposed to be when you're in savage state. When I have a dev confirmation, MEPS, I will notify everyone. But so far as what we can only guess on test server, that's our notification that we are in savage state. Now, clipping it reduced the time that I was in savage state. I don't know why. It might have been a bug, but it basically you have to do the entire animation. You gotta do the whole thing. But they did introduce a fix today that the clipping of Dreadful Blast will put you into the savage state. All right, so you can clip it once again. Yay! Now I have to go back to learning how to clip. Terrific. Ugh. So when you're in savage state, these abilities will restore power when performed immediately after damaging an enemy with a rage combo and damage roll. Right? You'll be using Eviscerating Chain, Gauntlet Eruption, Outrage, Dreadful Blast, Frenzy, Plasma Wretch, or Revenge. And then these abilities will extend the duration of savage state in order to continue using rage combos with the high damage output. Channel Hate, Eviscerate and Chain, Gall and Eruption, Lacerate, Outrage, Rage Blast, Violence, Bloodlust, Dreadful Blast, Frenzy, Plasma Erection, Revenge. I have to say, these are like basically every single strong ability that Rage DPS use. Like super strong. I mean,
basically, nobody's loadouts are going to be drastically changed.
No!
Like that. It's just basically, they just added this power back mechanic with some extra to all the powers that everybody already uses and loves.
Now, why can't all power updates be like that?
Dude, do not get me started. I play Fire. I play Fire. Did you remember that? Did you forget that?
Alright, maybe one.
And I'm DPSing with some guy in my league and all that, and some of them are Quantum, and we're doing Halls of Hades the other night, and all of a sudden I just hear one of them go, "I just hit 109k on Cerberus." 109k. Quantum.
I remember when Fire used to be the only power that could hit above 10k.
That's because we had our 9-second cast time mass debt.
So everybody's loadout really isn't going to be changing at the least. Now, with the testing that I did notice that, and again, I was like on day one yesterday on the test server with this. Gall and Eruption actually did more power back than Plasma Retch. And with Plasma Retch, I wasn't able to clip it. Or I was able to clip it. It was to extend the Savage State. I had to play the entire animation of Plasma Retch to get that to get the duration increase. Because I think with the animation of Plasma Retch, it got up to 8 seconds in Savage State, and then clipping it dropped it down to like 6.
Yeah, but 6 seconds is a long time. I mean, you could still get out dual wield, even a hand blaster weapon mastery combo, and then hit another power, like Dreadful Blast into Dreadful Explosion in time to renew that. So that's a long time. So you still I think folks are still going to be able to clip that animation.
Yeah, I'm not sure why I'm getting echoes. It's weird because now it just popped up. I'm not sure why I'm getting echoes. It's creeping me out a bit. Now I'm gonna have to take a look at my setup again. Ugh. So, most players on this test have been very, at least a little bit happy with the advanced mechanic. I think, if I remember correctly, some people were saying that they've had more success with the range, but melee is strong as well, but most people don't really expect to actually go melee with rage. I mean, if you do, great. Just be careful where you stand, because that boss will kill you. But for me, I don't play DPS as much, so my whole thing with it, at least I'm testing it because I actually do enjoy it a little bit. I know it's a melee power, but for it being a melee powered, I have to say Dreadful Blast is just super awesome. Thanks, Maps.
I've never really considered Dreadful Blast a melee power.
No, neither have I.
I think he was saying that
it's
Rage was more melee
focused.
Yeah.
Could see it doing both.
So, I have been very impressed with it. Like I said, I had more power out with Gall and Eruption and Plasma Retch. So maybe it's because animation wise, I'm not really sure. But more testing, trying to I mean, the loadout you see right here is my Pacific loadout for when I DPS. Relentless Anger, Dreadful Blast, Plasma Rage, Call and Eruption, Bloodlust, and Berserk. That's what I use. And Relentless Anger really doesn't get used that often unless I'm actually taking damage just from AoE purposes. Cypher, stop throwing up on the ground. That's gross. So, but it's still, it's a fun thing to be playing around with right now. Very, very fun and very early stages right now. So you'll be seeing more stuff coming down the line.
Yeah.
I just remember that Brittany is actually another Rage person. She's really wanted. So I might try and get Brittany on next week or maybe the week after, once she actually gets her PC running and she's able to actually hop on test server to talk to play around with this, because this is actually some really fun stuff. So I'm gonna pass it over for a little bit to Vagrant, so we can talk a little bit about some PvP. But don't take long, because we also have to get Supes in as well before we get out of here.
I mean, it's gonna be both of us, morally.
More, pretty much.
Yep.
Because you know, he's the one who brought it to my attention, anyways.
First of all, okay, there was a thread on the forums, you know, that I just showed Vagrant there. Did you get a chance to read my post, my first post on there? I know you said you read
some of the replies. Yes.
Yeah.
Because you were already I think getting attacked. Yep.
Man, what are you talking about?
You were.
Here's a link to my original post on there.
Okay.
I'll share it with the chat. You know, okay, everybody in the chat. This was my original post. Because, all right, somebody, you know, the original post, the guy who started it, you know, was asking what the devs' vision of PvP was, what their vision for PvP was, right? And then Meps later on came in there, and he asked everybody that, you know, stated that they're starting to set their sights on Season 4 of PvP, but frankly, nothing they've done has been as successful as it needs to be. So the question is really for you, what do you want to see in PvP, and what do you think the majority of the community who doesn't PvP wants to see in PvP? So I posted my list right here. First time I've posted on the forums in a long time, and I just went on. Basically, though, I'll, you know, while you're reading there, Vagrant, I'll go through everything that I talked about. I talked about, you know, a lot of the problems with Season 3 is the changes were implemented to fix issues that existed prior to Weapon Mastery. Before Weapon Mastery, a 5v5 TDM could go the full 15 minutes with nobody scoring a kill or maybe one kill occurring. Thus, players gravitated to 4v4s in order to remove the second healer from the groups, and matches were fun again. When Weapon Mastery was introduced, players went back to 5v5s because it was possible to you know, again, for teams to score kills. Then Season 3 happened. The agnostic gear was a good step because it gave players more of an option on how they wanted to mod, but the rest of the changes greatly reduced the capacity to do the two things that people seek after the most in arenas: survivability and the ability to eliminate their enemy. I know those both sound like they offset each other, but the ability of a team to capitalize on their opponent not being able to do one or the other was what set teams with skill apart from those with luck or utilizing cheats. Then I listed on a few things, you know, that I would like to see come back, you know, or added, or taken away. First off was bring back the RPS system. As far as I'm concerned, before Season 3, the RPS system was actually finally what I think everybody believed it should have been at. I mean, you had, you know, tanks could kill controllers easier. You know, tanks could strip their POT, you know, remove their shields. Healers could, you know, hit tanks harder. They were able to, you know, remove their shields, debuff their, you know, remove their buffs, and everything. You know, and trollers, you know, of course, were able to still do, you know, what they've always been able to do, but they were able to do a little bit more effectively, so long as they didn't have a tank, you know, riding them the whole time. So yeah, I wanted the RPS system. I'd like to see the RPS system back. The counter vulnerability windows, as far as I'm concerned, there's way too much openness in them. I don't care how short, the timing on them has been set. Apparently it's like 0.35 seconds or something like that. I've been told, no. If I'm sorry, if I let go of the block button, I should not be getting block broken. That's how I feel about it. That's how I feel.
The most broken one is because I just read your post when you throw a block breaker and then you block and you still get interrupted.
Yes. That one right there. That's another one. I don't like. Aspect of it.
Because NPCs get to do it.
Yeah. What do you think about the RPS system coming back though?
I don't miss it, but I would like to see some of the strategy of some things come back, like being able to strip a controller's POT or a healer's heals, or just like the tank's buffs and things like that. I think they should. I totally agree with bringing back utility belts, because that added a lot more leeway in some of your builds, as well as it made crafting certain consumables and things like useful, like the PvP grenades and things like that. I think they should actually, instead of scrapping that, bring them back with a whole new use. Like if they did bring back the PvP grenades, that will be like, just add more of them. Just have them where like have a grenade where it's useful against a controller, have a grenade that's useful against a DPS, things like that. That way you would bring back utility belts and some sense of the RPS system back into play. It would also add sense of strategy, like, all right, so we have these four going into this 4v4 match. It's like, all right, so what does everyone have in their utility belt right now? And it's like everybody's like, right now I have the personal dampening shield 6, a PvP debuff grenade, my infinite soda cooler, of course, and then a self buff potion or something like that. Things like that I think should be brought back into PvP. Obviously it just needs to be tweaked a little bit. I think it was kind of silly for them to scrap it altogether. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I agree with that. And honestly, I completely forgotten about the PvP grenades because
I thought it was a pretty nice idea.
Yeah.
Like I said, I have no idea why we scrapped it completely, instead of just improving upon it and making it something that people would be more encouraged to do. Was it the fact that people found it like too time consuming to craft? Were people just not bothered? Were people just trying to gear and get out? Fix those things.
Well, I know the PvP grenade itself. It costs that takes a yellow, a red, and a blue bite to make. So that could there's people on this game who just don't want to farm. And I'm sorry, farming is easy. I mean, I've been farming this entire time we've been in this Skype call, and I've got 15 stacks. And I haven't really been farming, religiously. It's like, I'll stop every few minutes and everything to talk about something, and then I'll go back to farming. But I mean, I've, got a nice little route that I've got, and, I'm able to farm up my bits, no problem. And I don't even really need to, because I'm usually just use freaking, the full extraction kit, the total recovery kit. I would like to, you brought up some interesting things, and you gave me some new ideas and all that about bringing utility belts back. As far as like the consumables, okay, you mentioned the debuff grenade, which I think would be a fantastic thing for them to bring back.
It could also
but for other consumables though, I would rather not see in come back into arenas, simply because they added to the frustration that a lot of us experience in arenas, like chronometric emitters. You got 3 or 4 people in there with chronomatic emitters, spamming them and everything like that. Everybody in your team, is getting CC'd and all that by those things. No, I'd rather not see consumables like that come back in. Honestly, and I've seen people some opinions and all that, and I kind of agree with them. If they do damage or they CC, I'd rather not see those consumables come back in. Now, if they just apply, a PI and all that, then yeah, I'm down with that. I'm down with that because the biggest thing about consumables is you need to have the plans to do them. And one of the hugest arguments, and I've never really been that huge of a fan of it either, but I don't mind doing it because I like playing this entire game, not just one part of it, is having to PvE to PvP. I mean, I got in this, you probably saw some of the posts in there, I got into some discussions with some people in there. They're not even willing to run 1 tier 5 raid a month to pay for rent. That's how badly they don't want to have to PvP or PvE to PvP, which I think is ludicrous. I mean, you go run Nexus, 15 minutes of your time. You really can't do that. You can't be asked just to want to run 1 or 2 PvE instances, a month. I was like, not to mention the fact that once Tier 7 comes out and all this Tier 6 content gets converted over to Triumph, can you imagine how much the monthly reward boxes are going to be on like Necro?
Yep. But then the Tier 6 boosts will probably be out as well, sometimes after that.
Oh, the boost 4s? That would be awesome too.
Yeah.
I mean, still, but even then, I mean, it's not that difficult of a thing to do, especially if
it's not. I mean,
currently content.
Currently, not many players even use the crafting consumables in the first place. I can't remember the last time I had any kind of consumable, other than maybe an extra like boost cola or something, because I'm not bothered to craft the DPS consumables. Because usually what my trinkets are going to be in my utility belt for PvE is going to be an orbital strike, my henchman or my accomplice, or my supply drop, because that's how I would run survival mode. You go in there with a DPS consumable, everybody's going to freaking hate you. Because supply drops, in certain cases, accomplices, so they can restore your health and power to free up some room for the troller and the healer. You kind of need those things. And then the orbital strike, if you have it on the best boost, that's an extra, that's some extra burst. Not to mention could stun some adds. So currently, a lot of the consumable expert plans and plans in general are just never being used. Go back to fixing some of them. Like a good way to fix it, like for maybe PvE, if we ever wanted to include it, is if you wanted to add, like you said, like just have it to where they would probably add it to where it's just like I don't know, like karmic. Can't remember what the sorcerer one is called. Karmic Hex PvP. It doesn't have a tier. You could also make it to where it's a infinite consumable, but it just has a cooldown. Something like that. That way you would actually see people crafting again. The crafting system in this game has just gotten less and less useful over time. I don't understand that. I think the only thing that I didn't touch upon before was probably... well, I can see some more now. I don't think that blue immunities was necessarily a bad thing. I think once they fixed the vulnerability windows for counters, I've always liked the blue immunity, because it is like, if you are in a situation where it's like 1v3 and you are good enough and you kind of hold on, you can actually fight back. Eventually you will die. It's just how it is, especially once they nerf the blue immunity, because it doesn't completely block damage. But I think that blue immunity doesn't need to go away. I think it's something that is fine the way it is, especially once they do fix the counter vulnerability windows and CC in general. I mean, it's not just the vulnerability windows, it's CC in general as well. Being constantly knocked up with, you know, not being able to do anything, even though you just broke out, is not the way it's supposed to be.
Right.
Reducing power costs in arenas, I can tell you right now, as a sorcery player, I am always bone dry from power.
Yeah. Yeah, and it doesn't just affect the healers too. I mean, it affects everybody, especially the controllers, because you know the controller is the one who's, you know, he's the guy who has to, you know, put out the power for everybody. And you know, if the controller is, you know, his power in, his own personal power in, is nerfed so badly, you know, and his own power costs are so high that he can't effectively do his job, then I mean, it just becomes nothing but a slugfest in there. You got nobody using any powers. Eventually, you know, I mean, eventually somebody's going to die, and theoretically, it should be speeding this. Theoretically, this high power cost, I'm assuming, was put in order to speed up matches, because you know, theoretically, you know, everybody's going to run out of power. Healers aren't going to be able to heal anybody. Somebody's going to die eventually. And you know, thanks a lot, President Blue. He's like, what I missed, and President Blue's all, or Decon says new UI was put on hold, Gargamon, and then President Blue's recommended to send his hate mail to me. Yeah, appreciate that. So you know, so theoretically it should be speeding up matches, but I mean, we've had a couple of arena tournaments that, you know, Daybreak has done on their stream, and we have seen that that's not necessarily the case. You don't see, you know, a 5v5 team deathmatch going. I mean, where you still see some of them going the full 15 minutes, or not ending in 1,000 in whatever score. So that's telling me that while the power costs, you know, obviously it's going to affect the healing and everything, it's also affecting the DPS that's been going out. So, I mean, you can't DPS, you can't, you know, kill anybody, you know, and so I think it in theory, yeah, it sounds like it should work, but in practice, you know, obviously it's not. But another thing too that this, you know, the power cost thing, you know, brought around, and along this is, you know, I was asked by somebody, you know, which one of these is a priority, or if they're listed in priority, for me. And honestly, I think they all kind of go hand in hand, because the power cost on the RPS system has completely eliminated tanks from PvP. I mean, unless you're playing a node game and you're, you know, sitting on a node holding it, you know, against 7 or 8 people as a fire tank, and you pop an eternal flame, you know, there's really no need to, you know, be running with a tank, especially in team deathmatch maps. Now, you know, in some maps like, you know, City Safe House or something like that, yeah, there's a reason running in there, because they can more easily ignore CC effects in there and everything like that. But there's no need whatsoever to run with a tank now, because the controller doesn't have enough power to debuff the healers. So that means you don't need a tank in there to remove any of the debuffs. On top of that, you know, it's just I don't know. Like I said, it's just everything goes hand in hand in that. I mean, crit windows have been an issue for the longest time, ever since they introduced these new crit or clipping or vulnerability windows, rather. I'm sorry, have been an issue for a long time. I mean, I'm sorry, if I block and I let go and I'm on my second tap in a melee combo, I should not be getting block broken. No, it makes no sense to me whatsoever.
Yeah.
But my thing with the blue immunities is it's not so much it's the mechanic as it's on its own. All right, it works on its own. It works. but there are ways to exploit this mechanic, and by doing little tricks, and and granted, I mean, a lot of people are saying, it's good strats, it's it's just skillful play and everything like that. Um, in doing this, in farming, blues and everything like that. But there are some tricky ways to farm blues off people that just straight up cheesy, in my opinion, and a lot of other people's opinions too. I mean, I got a lot of. I mean, you don't see it in there because everybody's getting drowned out by the 4 or 5 people that were ganking me on this thread. But I got a lot of tells last night, and I got a few private messages on the forums last night. People like thanking me and agreeing with everything I said in my posts. So I'm not alone with a lot of this stuff. My issue is the farming blues, farming the blues. That's my biggest issue with it. I mean, yeah, like you said, they eventually you're going to die, but there are ways where you can like permanently get blues off a couple people attacking you.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've been out of Fight Club and getting jumped by like 3 or 4 people, and I've been able to survive it mainly because I just okay, that guy's block breaking me, lunge him. Okay, this guy's lunging at me now. I want to block on him. Okay, this guy's trying to block break me. I'm gonna lunge. I've like bounced around, off people before and been able to survive ganks, because of the blue immunities. And the whole time I'm thinking to myself, these guys, it's not that I was a better player or the 3 or 4 guys that I was fighting were crap at the game. It was just because of this one mechanic that was introduced, and it was mainly introduced for the bad players. When blue immunities was first brought into the game, it was flat out said that they were bringing into the game with the intention of helping out the lesser skilled players have more survivability when they're getting piled on in an arenas match. And now the so-called best, or the so-called good, or the so-called top players in this game, the main reason why these guys have this reputation of being so good and being the best, half of the reason is because they've figured out ways on how to successfully farm these blues off people in ways that I don't necessarily agree with completely. That's my issue with blues.
I've always liked the idea of blues.
Yeah, like I said, I like the initial reasoning behind putting the blues in. I was down with that. But then it became I'm sorry, when a match becomes more about who can farm blues better, that's not really introducing skill into it. Come on.
Well, I mean, that's all lair battles is.
I mean, that's how most 1v1s are now.
Yeah, which is why I usually hate lair battles.
Yeah, I mean that's the way pretty much all 1v1s are now, and honestly, that's the way some 5v5s are. So
yeah,
all about who can farm the most blues.
It's just there's a lot of problems that. I mean, to be honest, a lot of it just stems from the counter system in general. I've never really liked the counter system. I've always hated it. Because it just adds too many variables in the game that the devs are just never going to be able to fix. Lag, for instance. You see someone blocking. If your internet isn't pristine, you might get block broken when he was never even blocking on his end in the first place. getting countered repeatedly is annoying. You do have to have a little bit of skill to do it, but I mean, at the same time, CCs would have done the same thing, being able to rotate your stuns correctly if they went for a more like standard MMORPG combat system. It would have been really the same thing as the counter system if, like I said, if you rotated stuns correctly. I mean, like right now, the biggest problem that we all run across, and I'm going to keep saying it because it hasn't been fixed for like the past 7 updates, is that CC is broken. You know, I get stunned 30 million times from the same ability. It's a little frustrating, to say the least. There's way too many times, especially in PvE, because NPCs like to use the same damn move all the time, and they have infinite power while I have only a little bit of power to freaking use, especially since I'm sorcery at the time. I don't get power back. You know, it's the same with players and NPCs.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I've never run into an ad or a boss in any of the PvE content that, you know, after I countered them, or, you know, so long after the fight went on for so long, you know, they started, you know, popping that little aura around themselves, showing that they were out of power. Yeah.
Yep. They have infinite power. NPCs also can become immune to stuns. We can't for some reason.
Yeah.
We can get stunned over and over and over again from the same thing.
And that's another thing I understand. How is it that, you know, the NPCs can become invulnerable to stuns, but our breakouts and our, you know, CC effects are completely broken for PvP?
Yep.
That's something that hasn't really made any sense to me either. I mean, I know they're working on it. I know it's being worked on, and you know they're trying to fix it. From my understanding, you know, we might see something with update 46 with this. You know, what was posted in that thread at least. But I don't have anything to confirm that. I just have, you know, secondhand, you know, from one mouth to another to me. On that, so I don't know if we're gonna see anything.
Yeah, I mean, I've just always hated the counter mechanics, especially when they brought it into PvE. It's mostly because in PvE it's way more annoying because you'll be fighting a boss, they'll be in the middle of one move, all of a sudden they fucking pull a block out of their ass, and I'm like, what the fuck? Where'd this come from?
Well, you know, a lot of the times though, you know, the NPCs, you know, there's like a feint animation around.
Oh, I know. I'm talking about sometimes they'll just like, for instance, I'll counter them, they'll break out of a counter, immediately block. Things like that piss me off.
Yeah.
Or like it comes out of nowhere, or there's no feint for it, they just do it.
Yeah, their breakout trinket is never on cooldown.
Yeah, like it's annoying more than fun. Which is why I like fighting the bosses that are like not player related, things like that, like Cerberus. But
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. What else did I talk about on here? The utility bus crit cap. The cap on crits and arenas. You think it's still necessary?
To an extent, it's just so you don't get one shot.
Right.
Because I mean, like, for instance, if they didn't have a crit cap right now, Quantum would be hitting you for 80k.
True. If they could get it off.
Yeah, but if they did, you'd be like, well, what the hell was I supposed to do against that?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I get that point, but like I said, you know, I mean, the crit cap is what, you know, it's what started the domino effect on all these other things, in my opinion. Because the crit cap was introduced, you know, to prevent the one shots and the slow matches down, because people were going in there getting rolled over in 3 minutes, and nobody was really having any fun with that. So then they brought in the crit cap. Well, then that slowed matches down to 15 minutes, and nobody's getting any kills. So they, then they introduced, and then weapon mastery came along. So okay, now we can go into fives again and all that. We're not having 15-minute matches. People are getting kills. RPS system's working fantastic, and all that. There's still some little bugs and all that. Counter windows and everything. Blue immunity farm is still a bit of an issue. But other than that, everything was working fine. And then all of a sudden they're like, okay, we're gonna speed things up even more with this, and that's when we got season 3. And honestly, it slowed the matches down more.
Yeah. Honestly, I gotta kind of say that weapon mastery, ever since its introduction, has hasn't ruined the game, but it's still not to where it needs to be. It's just the crits are all over the place for certain weapon mastery combos.
Yeah.
I like the way it works in certain cases, but it's a little wonky. At least that's how weapon mastery works in its current form. I think it just needs to be tuned a little bit more.
See, but going back on that though, a player that knows what to look for knows when they need to do an interrupt on somebody that's trying to perform a weapon mastery combo. You're not going to be able to get every weapon mastery combo off, even if you have a blue immunity. So that's one of the things that cracked me up about the arguments against me saying get rid of blue immunities, was the fact that somebody said it's going to become it'll just become a weapon mastery combo fest. Everybody just be spamming weapon mastery combos. I don't see how, because all weapon mastery combos are interruptible, correct? You lunge, you block, you're going to interrupt that combo. And
or
they're
blocks. Most melees are block. Most range is going to be interrupt.
Right. You lunge them or you block them, you're going to interrupt their combo. So, without blue immunities, how's it going to make it to where people are going to be able to spam weapon mastery combos? And then somebody told me, tried to point out the fact to me, because I was like, you're just making it sound like it's a possibility now. And then one of the individuals was like, no, the vast majority of the weapon mastery combos can't be gotten off before the blue immunity wears off. Okay, so and the thing that boggled my mind was these two individuals were backing each other up. So one's saying that weapon mastery combos not possible with blue immunities. The other one's saying that weapon mastery combos will be spammed without blue immunities. But if they're interruptible with blue immunities, why are they not interruptible without blue immunity? They talked themselves into a circle, and completely shot their own legs out from underneath them as far as that stance goes. But yeah, removing the crit cap. Honestly, I think a lot of that could be mitigated with them going back to concentrate on giving us toughness instead of a buku amount of health.
I think what it needs to do is have a reduction of health, remove the caps on stats.
Stat capping.
If someone wanted to be modded towards survivability, do health, obviously, that would kind of fix that. Yeah. Obviously, if you were worried about dying a lot, you would just mod towards health. I think there still needs to be more of a separation of PvE and PvP. There's still a little bit.
I agree. What I would like to see though, is we discussed when we were talking about the utility belts, is PvP equivalents of some of the things that have been taken away from us in season 3. It's we got the with PvP equivalents of say a buff trinket.
Yep.
It's a temporary buff and all that activates, has a cooldown. A PvP version of a buff trinket, or healing, DPSing, trolling, whatever. A DPS version of PI consumables.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
I also said like making them infinite would also just make them a little hard to craft. Give them a little bit of effort, but you can also make them infinite, so people wouldn't necessarily complain that they have to craft them all the time.
Right. Right. Or just make it so that the materials you need for crafting those can either be gotten through drops in arenas, because we have seen that before. And all that, we have seen that in the past, where you could get a box and there would be a weapon, there would be or even lair items, for crying out loud, or make it so that we can purchase them with the extra marks we get, and stuff like that. I mean, if people are wanting to not have to PvE at all to PvP, that's the way to go. That's the way to go. Make it so our marks can be used after we get all of our gear, all of our mods, purchased and everything, all of our prefab mobs and everything like that. Make it so we can actually use that stuff, use those marks.
Yeah, and then I think you had one more. I do not agree with bringing home turf back. I hated home turf.
And I know it's split on both sides, because there's people who like the home turf mods, and there's people who didn't like the home turf mods. I liked some of the home turf mods. There were others that would never want to see in arenas again, and that's why I said on there. I said specifically, and these guys kept trying to throw it in my face, about home turf and all that. Oh my God, so you're just going to end up having this again and that again. And I specifically said, obviously, some balancing needs to be made with some of them. Acro Tumble Master, from the start, needs. I never want to see that in an arena match again.
Well, half of the home turf content didn't make sense at all, because at least 45% of it was absolutely useless.
Yeah.
Some of it you would just never use PvE or PvP situations. You would just never use them.
Yeah.
But I think that's all the PvP.
Yeah.
But if they were gonna bring home turf stuff back, they would definitely need to fix it. I kind of liked the idea of the mods, because I thought that was when we were gonna see things like set bonuses in DCUO or something like that, or at least like a substitution for it. Because in other MMORPGs, there's set bonuses for getting a full set of armor. I thought that was going to be like set bonuses for DC Universe Online at first, but
right.
Yeah.
Oh, and the PvP trinket that we have right now, make it so people can use it in open world. Because not everybody was smart enough to keep their PvP utility belt from the last season. Like me. I do. I saw my utility belt, and I went and bought a tier 1 PvE trinket. I use it to break out when I'm fighting people in open world.
I'm just sitting here in queue, rocking it.
You're just sitting there rocking that queue, man.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Super Patriot, that's what it looks like when we PC players queue for just about anything, even a duo.
Don't worry, PlayStation's on its way. Hopefully, end of April to save you guys.
Come save us, for real. Not even joking.
Vagrant's, I can see it the first day of crossplay. Vagrant's gonna queue in. He's gonna load in on his villain, and he's gonna see just like 100 villains in the Hall of Doom. He's gonna be like, oh.
I'm gonna be like, I can actually queue for an 8v8 arena and not have to wait 4 hours.
Yeah, but the problem is, though, your heart's gonna sink when you realize they're all in there just to talk shit at each other and 1v1. There's no raid speed put together in the Hall of Doom. They don't do that in the Watchtower either. They're not there to put together raids or talk about the game.
Nope.
No.
All right. So I know we're pretty much at that like hour 30 mark where that's kind of like the buffer. But I have to cut down to like 10 minutes. So I do have plans tonight. So
Hot.
Shut up. So let's run in. So I don't know. Okay, I'm not being hosted anymore, so it's all clear. So,
okay, we're all clear. We're all clear.
Yeah, we're all clear.
Fucking A.
Nice.
I want to get that out of my system for a while.
So, if you are weak at heart, afraid of strong languages, and by the way, the 83 people who stuck around here, thank you so much. That really means a lot. It's really awesome of you guys, because we were at like 120, and the fact that we're down to 184, awesome job. I want to see some more people talking in chat, because we got 62 people talking in chat. Oh, we got 84 viewers. We need more people in chat. I need to see some followers here. I need to see some new followers. Let's do this. So we're now going into the SourceCast X-rated, and Super Patriot is now going to read.
It's R-rated.
R-rated, whatever. He's going to read off his hate mail, his hate comments. The people hate Supes because they're jelly stuff. So after he does this, after he does his little segment, we will of course be ending the stream, and then not ending the stream, but we will be ending the show, and then we're going to be doing the giveaway for PlayStation Cash and for Station Cash. So, Super Patriot, let's hear some of this bad stuff while I still sit in queue.
All right, keep in mind, folks. All right, now I'm going to be reading these word for words. All right, these are expressed opinions of the assholes posting these comments, not me or Trex, and I'm hoping not Vagrant.
Yeah, you never know.
All right, so let's see here. Go up here. What happened to some of them? Oh, okay, here we go. This was a joyful one. This one was left on my vlog. Let's see here. Look at this bumpkin country fuck. You need to stop gagging on Meps and Spittle's ball sack, you fat fuck. I am persistent. That was his name. Yeah. Lovely young man.
Let's not name drop. Let's not name drop. Let's
Make
this
less fun.
Well, deal with it. Country bumpkin. You live in Ohio.
I know. I live in Northeast Ohio. Now there is some farm area around me, but I live in the city limits. I think it's just because of the beard.
I think you fail to realize that most internet trolls don't know how to even count to like 10, so they're not gonna know the difference. Probably. Let's
see here. There was a golden one somebody left, and I cannot find it now. Damn it.
You had a week to prepare.
I know, but I can't find it now. It's really upsetting me. Okay, here we go. This one here, this was left on an older video of mine about a week ago. Actually, we have a threefer from this gentleman.
Threefer?
Here we go. Yeah. No, we'll just, well, that one's not really too bad. We'll just keep it at a twofer. All right, this guy here says, what this fag does is suck on the dev's dick all day. Orbit smile shit on this guy. People don't delete their tunes because of money. They put it in like my guy since launch shit never.
What?
So not only
understand any of that.
Exactly. Not only can they not count, but most people, can't apparently, form a sentence. See here. Then this gentleman went on a different video, said super faggot sucking Mep's dick to this Friday night tune in Legends after Spittle fists his mom.
I tell you what, you internets are full of the English language.
Yeah.
That is hilarious.
Sounds legit. That's right. It sounds legit, Voyager.
sounds legit.
See, I had one because I was picking up my daughter during the vlog. I had one kid ask me if my daughter had a kick, which I told him, "Don't make me hunt you down." But but that wasn't too bad. Let's see here. Oh, here, this one's awesome. I'm just laughing because you clearly get something out of this. GOH approached him as an ordinary person would and gets banned for it. They knew there was a flaw, but was still willing to go ahead and release the DLC. I have dedicated 1,430 pounds so far since beta, and my opinion is often valued when it came to this, I was banned from forums for inappropriate comments against the community. I clearly wrote, "There is a glitch in Throne. Can you fix this, please, so you don't have to ban anyone?" In no way was I exploiting any flaws. I hope they just come to their senses just because their game is... So, I get paid. I wish I got paid. If I got paid to take this kind of crap from people, man, I would relish in this. You would see so many more videos from me just calling people out.
I would Scrooge McDuck this money. Just swim in it. Like bitches. Does Scrooge McDuck have bitches? That would be great.
Oh man, I'm serious. I would be rolling in this. I would be rolling in dough. There's people. Oh man, wish I got paid. Eps, make that happen.
Oh, not now.
Yeah, really.
If we keep doing more of this hate mail, we're not gonna get it.
Let's see here. There is oh, okay. A while back, it was a little joke and a little jab at somebody. I did a video about my no challenge solo Prime run and Prime Battlegrounds run as a fire DPS, and people thought I was calling people out. I was just poking a little fun at somebody because they did as a rage DPS, and honestly, that Prime solo with end content, gear is not that difficult. Where is it? There's somebody. Oh, Gake and Faye. So that was a nice little play on words there. There is one golden one, and I can't find it now because I read it to everybody in my league, and they're like, "Oh, you definitely have to read that one Friday night." I can't find it now. It was glorious, though. I mean, the person was clearly mad.
Clearly.
Clearly upset. Man, I'm gonna have to go back. I'm gonna go way back. Yeah.
Are you done? Was that gonna be your last one?
No, because there's. God damn it! I really want to find this one because it was so good. It needed to be read. It needed to be shared. Needed to be shared with everybody, just so they could see how things are. This one's okay. There's super faggot sucking Mets dick to this. Okay, I've read that one.
God, my God!
I had to go to the video. Here.
My words.
I'm having flashbacks on them.
That's not a good thing.
That was the greatest way to begin the sentence.
Yeah.
Just Raza.
Oh, man.
Man. Oh, I don't know what happened to that one, man, but it was epic. It was so epic. Okay, yeah, okay. Let me get this straight. You can't beat him in a 1v1, but you talk shit when you have another league fighting. Yet you say he didn't bring his own league. You didn't bring your own league. You're such a hypocrite. Saying he's bringing people into your beef, yet you bring people yourself. You just made a video contradicting yourself with the best PvP scrim league. Yeah, they invited me to the group. Man, I don't know what happened. I think, man, I really hope they didn't delete that comment because it was really freaking good. I need to find it again. Yeah, I mean that's just a small sample. I'm sure there's a lot more.
Oh yeah.
I could, you know.
Well, I will let you do if you can find the golden child of your hate mail. We'll let you say it
I'll
next
post
week.
it in the comments. I'll post it in the comments of this video on your YouTube.
Even better. Even better. That'll start a whole flame just stuff on my channel now. Great.
Trex, how much time do you got left?
We're almost done. We're now at the shameless plug section.
Okay. Making sure that you're good.
Oh yeah, I'm good. So and look, I mean, even look, another new graphic. I tell you what, this guy had a very productive couple of days.
Did you do that? Did you do that in Paint?
You can go to hell. I'm gonna go ahead and delete everything now. No, I didn't do this in Paint. I got Photoshop, dude. I got that CC 214.
You didn't even remove the white borders of the Twitter symbol.
Oh, okay. Actually, that I've had that graphic for like a couple of years now, and I was like, I ain't gonna change it. I don't even care. I mean,
That's Paint.
I'm just busting your balls, man.
I can show you the Photoshop file. Don't be hating. I'm about to flip my table.
Right, so you did it on Paint and then saved it on Photoshop.
You try. You try getting this majesticness, this order on Paint. Man, screw you. Okay. You can find us over. You can find us on the social media at Facebook and Twitter. Just type in DCO SourceCast or just type in SourceCast. Either way, you'll find us. You can find all of our videos from like episode 74 up until now over at over my YouTube channel at Trexlight.com, and you also find a couple of them over at Super Patriots channel / The Daddy's House. Be sure to also find all the our audio files. If you want this in audio format, over at Trexlight.com, or go to iTunes and just type in SourceCast. I don't do iTunes, so I don't have a link. I know I should do better promoting. I need to hire a guy, or at least pay him in peanuts. And if you guys want, we'll actually start reading off some viewer mail as soon as we actually get viewer mail. If you guys have a question you want answered by one of us, or if you have a topic that you feel like we should discuss, shoot us an email at dcuosourcecast@gmail.com. So, it's our Gmail. It all works. Super Patriot, where can we find you?
You can, of course, find me at youtube.com/The Daddy's House. You can also find me on the Twitter at The Daddy's House, Facebook, The Daddy's House, and occasionally here on Twitch, The Daddy's House as well. Vagrant, where can we find you, sir?
If you're watching the Twitch stream, you can find me at /Vagrant Game for my Facebook. You can find me on YouTube /The Alpha Tester. You can find me at Twitter /Vagrant_gaming and on Twitch /Vagrant Gaming. It's all neatly there vertically. I like it. Thank you, Trex.
Thank you for being patient.
It looks really good for MS Paint. It does.
I know, doesn't it?
Like, I will stab you both.
That might be a legitimate threat, though, because he is pretty close to me.
Oh, I can make that drive.
So, Trex, where can we find you?
You can find me over at facebook.com/Trexlight, over at my YouTube channel /Trexlight, and especially on the Twitter at ThisIsTrex. And be sure to also follow me here on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Trexlight, to know when I go live with DCO SourceCast or any other random game I play. I've been loving Dragon Ball Z Universe. Oh my god, it's so mouth-watering good. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the graphics. More new changes going to be coming along the way for the SourceCast. Just some minor tweaks as I figure it all out. I also got my green screen up, so I do need to get back into putting our beautiful faces back on the SourceCast, because I know everybody wants to see us big old smiles. Ain't that right, Supes?
Trex likes to introduce himself in porn. So it looks like he's in a porn.
I can't do that because you have to have a shirt on when you stream. It's in the TOS. I can't show.
But I mean, no, I'm saying you do it for your own personal use.
Oh, well.
And for your web show that you have at like 2 o'clock in the morning.
I have an 8 to 5, sir. I don't need to be up at 3 in the morning.
So you're doing the web show during the day now?
Yeah, better lighting. So
there you go. Just roll with it, Trex. That's the best way.
that's what she said. All right, so thank you so much for watching. Be sure to tune in next week where we're going to talk a little bit more about DCUO, of course, and be sure to also follow twitch.tv/DCUO Online for FNL every Friday night. Yes. So stick around. We'll be starting the giveaway in just a moment. Thank you all so much for watching. And also, if you guys are actually listening in and you want to win stuff, you need to be on the Twitch stream. You got to be on here so we can give away some cool stuff. Isn't that right? Cool stuff. That's right. So thank you all so much for listening in and watching. We'll see you guys next time.
Later.
Yeah. Bye.